Pete Hegseth doesn't want to be held accountable. He doesn't want to be questioned about things that he doesn't want to answer. He is furious. He's losing it right on camera. Take a look at his facial expression on the camera at this moment when the reporter from CNN is going to be asking him a question about recent attack on Venezuela. Take a listen.
It
doesn't cost us. It doesn't cost us.
The involvement, the U.S. involvement in Venezuela, how much will it cost?
Well, it doesn't going to cost us any money. For example, this oil deal that's happening doesn't cost us any money. On the contrary, and if it opens up,
no money to
well, these look, I can't. I don't have the numbers. What operation are you talking about? The entire thing?
Yeah.
Well, these troops are going to be deployed. None of these troops sit in a dry dock waiting for action. They're deployed somewhere in the world. If they're not here, they're somewhere else. Just today, our forces not deployed to the Caribbean seized a boat, a sanctioned boat tied to the IRGC that tried to flee from us. That happened somewhere else. We are constantly involved in action. We have boats in the Mediterranean. We have ships in the Middle East. We have ships in the Indo-Pacific. These ships, if they weren't in the Caribbean, they'd be somewhere else conducting activity. That's what the Navy does.
Okay, before I play the part where he will clash with this reporter from CNN, I want you to just pay attention to his facial expression. Take a look. Like he's seething. This guy, Pete Hegseth, is seething when Rubio was answering that question about cost for the Venezuela attack and the seizure of those oil tankers and whatnot. He was like seething, and you can clearly see from his facial expression here, he's not happy. Oh, don't ask me this question because I don't like it and you're from CNN. And then you will hear him, actually before he would talk, he would pull Narco Rubio aside, and then he will have his answer to CNN in a very, very aggressive way. So I want you to pay attention to this.
I want to emphasize that question from CNN. The question's never asked how much does it cost when they're in the Mediterranean or the Red Sea or the Indian Ocean or the Pacific. But now that they're in our hemisphere, on a counter-cartel mission or ensuring that an indicted individual comes to justice, now you're asking the question of cost. It's a disingenuous question to begin with.
It is not a disingenuous question because you are spending tax dollars money, so the reporters have all the right in the world to ask you a question related to the cost, related to the tax dollars money. But Pete Hegseth, again, because this is CNN, he doesn't like the questioning, and he's now asking or demanding these reporters, mainstream media, to portray what U.S. did in Venezuela as an absolute success, even though Marco Rubio, he just said a few seconds ago in this press conference, he doesn't know. U.S. doesn't know what will happen next because anything can happen. Venezuelans, they can turn against United States. They can start a war, a civil war. So the success of this whole mission heavily depends on what will happen next. But Pete Hegseth, no, he doesn't want to hear that. He wants to do a victory lap before anything. Take a listen a little bit more.
To find any angle possible to undermine the success of one of the most historic military missions the world has ever seen. The level of sophistication that Senate just was briefed on and the House was briefed on, a classified level, is something only the United States of America can accomplish. The world is taking notice of that. Certainly Venezuela is taking notice of that. And it continues because two oil tankers, overnight, were seized by the United States of America, stateless or sanctioned, because the oil blockade, the quarantine of oil out of unsanctioned or sanctioned or stateless vessels continues. That leverage will continue as Secretary Rubio outlined. So our military is prepared to continue this. As he said, the president, when he speaks, he means it. He's not messing around. We are an administration of action to advance our interests, and that is on full display. We're happy to brief the House.
Yeah, again, this is a victory for the U.S. Donald Trump administration. This is a victory for our military, but then we do not know what will happen next. So, yeah, just suck it up.
Overnight, were seized by the United States of America, stateless or sanctioned, because the oil blockade, the quarantine of oil out of unsanctioned or sanctioned or stateless.
Yeah, well, I do believe that Pete Hegseth, he lost it with CNN, and he's just trying to avoid any kind of accountability, any question that is very, very relevant. He is just doing some lip service on behalf of Donald Trump administration instead of showing what really matters, especially to the taxpayers, and that is the cost. He doesn't want to talk about all of those things at all. Subscribe for more videos. See you in the next one.